So you've done some research, gathered some sources, and now you have to start reading them and going through them to find answers to your research questions. But sometimes it can be difficult. You might have a 300-page journal article, or maybe a couple of books that are really long. You may also have some short articles too. So how do you begin to wade through all of this material and figure out what you need for your research and for your essay? So here are some tips for reading sources. My general recommendations are to begin by reading the abstract or summary. When you are looking online at articles or you're looking for books, it's a good thing to read the abstract or the summary if they have it, to see if it even is applicable to what you're writing about or to your research questions. So start there, get a general idea of the source, and sometimes the abstract or summary would clue you into where you need to look in the article or the book for the information you need. Secondly, research the writer and evaluate the source. Make sure that this is reputable for whatever project you're working on. Make sure that the person who is writing it is knowledgeable on the subject or has researched extensively so that you know that you're using good quality information. Lastly, annotate all the information you want to use in your paper as you are reading. So highlight, underline, mark things. I even like to write words in the margins. I write this is for this section of my paper, just one word that would symbolize that section. And that's if you're reading it in hard copy form, if you like to print it out. If you don't want to print it out and you're just reading, let's say, an online book or an article on the screen, if you're doing it that way, you want to make sure you're copying and pasting all the information that you might want to cite or that you might want to summary, paraphrase, or quote in your paper. Start a Word document with it. Just make sure that you have the citation information along with the things that you have pulled from the article. It's really easy at that point to form an outline from the information you want to put in your paper. So I think that's a great thing to do as well. I typically will copy and paste things along with citation information. And then in addition to that, if I'm using a book, I'll type the quotations from the book that I want to include along with the information for the book so that I can have it all in one place for my outline. You can do little things like this to get some work done in advance and make it easier for you down the line. The most important thing I want to say to you is you don't have to read everything. You don't have to read the 7 300-page articles and the 2 full books. You just need to read the parts that are relevant to what you're doing. Not every book will be directed at your whole topic for all 400 pages of it. So if the article is only a few pages, if there's a chapter in a book that's really short, read the whole thing. Sure, you have the time. It will probably be worth to get that context. But if it's a 40-page article or a book, here are some tips that you should do to figure out what you need. First of all, like I said already, read the title, read the abstract or summary. Look at the table of contents or section headings. That might give you a clue for where you need to go in the article to find the information that you need. Read the first and last paragraphs of the article or the book. A lot of times you get a lot of general information. You might also, if it's a book, you might read the introduction to the book. Read the first sentence of each paragraph. This is if you have an article that doesn't have subject headings, is not organized in a really obvious way. You can read the first sentence of every paragraph to figure out where in the essay your information would be. If you can follow all of these, you'll find the exact section that pertains to your topic and that you need to use in your article. So I hope this is helpful to you. Just remember that you don't have to read everything, but you should have enough context and sort of background information around what you are reading to get exactly what you need out of the article and to also cite the information accurately.